Hello and welcome back to UCL Review, a very special UCL Review because today I am joined by possibly the happiest man outside of Manchester right now.
Ollie's at the wheel.
It's Joe Tomlinson.
Oh
it's Joe
my
Tomlinson.
God.
What a night, what a night. But before we get stuck into it, if you're joining us for the first time on EFT, make sure you are subscribed to the channel and hit that notification bell so you can never miss a video. But Joe, I know you want to start with an incredible night in Paris.
Yeah, I mean, I must have slept about an hour. I'm extremely tired and I'm very emotional, so I could say something I don't mean here. I really could say something I don't mean, but I'm saying it now. I'm fully aboard the Ole Gunnar Solskjaer train. He has to get the job. I want him to get the job. Let's give it to Ollie on a full-time
It's difficult to make a case not to. I would say that you should still offer it to Pochettino, because I'd back Pochettino to build a side better than Solskjaer.
Mate, I'm in an emotional state. Stop talking about Pochettino.
Okay,
it's got to be Solskjaer, because last night we beat, flukily some might say, a little bit of luck, but we beat PSG 3-1 at the Parc des Princes with an under-15 team. Unbelievable. The United reserves turning up in a massive, massive way to pull off a Champions League first. I believe Manchester United are the first team ever to come back from a 2-0 home defeat in the first leg and go through in the second leg. The first team in 107 attempts.
Crazy.
Come on, United! Would you believe it? What a start it was as well. Brilliant pressing by Marcus Rashford on Carrere. Carrere gets it totally wrong. Romelu Lukaku nips in, takes it round Buffon. Great finish as well. Because he could have easily gone down.
I thought his touch was a bit heavy, but he just managed to get it slid it in.
Yeah.
Lovely goal.
He could have gone down under the challenge from Thiago Silva and got a penalty as well, but he chose not to. Finished it off brilliantly. Obviously, PSG at this stage were completely dominant. They are the better footballing team. They had massive amounts of possession. And Ashley Young didn't even have a touch until the 21st minute. But who gives a... It doesn't matter, does it? It doesn't matter because, you know, Eric Bailly had a horror show. I think that's fair to say. He was injured, taken off injured, okay. Got the old shepherd's crook around his neck from Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Gave away... basically individually gave away that goal, played Mbappe onside, then completely messed up with the Bernat run over his shoulder. So 1-1. But then it happens again, doesn't it? Marcus Rashford, a speculative shot from 35 yards.
Dipping, but Buffon, you'd back him to save that 9 times out of 10.
It's a hard one for goalkeepers, those ones, because the ball is moving and dipping.
Lands just in front of him as well.
But Buffon has to do better, you're right. And then Romelu Lukaku, poacher's finish, the only player instinctively in there.
Some of their defenders, why aren't they reading that?
Switched off.
Lukaku was the only one going for that ball.
Completely switched off. And you know what? Hats off to Romelu Lukaku. Not 3 weeks ago, I couldn't have got it more wrong.
Yeah.
I completely eat humble pie about Romelu Lukaku. What an absolute stinker.
Yeah, Joe was sending him off to Wolves.
Yeah, ever since I said I didn't think he was good enough against elite sides, he turns up and he does that against PSG. I think that's probably his best ever performance against an elite side. People will say, yeah, well, his goals are tap-ins and lucky. His hold-up play was majestic. His running off the ball, his dynamism into the lines was brilliant. He talked about after the game how Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was asking him to play a different role, how he preferred playing in a front two, and you could totally see it in this game. Him and Rashford's press was brilliant. You know, hats off to Romelu Lukaku and the celebration in front of Di Maria. I bloody well love you. I bloody well. Is there anything better than seeing Di Maria in tears?
Especially after his antics in the first leg as well.
Drinking from the bottle. I remember,
humble pie for Di Maria.
I remember when they scored, when Cavani got the goal at the Nou Camp and Di Maria shushed all the Barcelona fans, and then Barcelona. He's the ultimate L merchant, Di Maria. It's fantastic scenes. And then the second half is I think PSG could have done more in the second half. I think Tuchel will be disappointed that he didn't get at Manchester United more. A lot of inane possession, passing it for the sake of passing it.
I totally agree.
United were there to be got at last night. The team was very, very substandard. I thought Kylian Mbappe was isolated a lot of the time. And you know what? Even by expected goals, they didn't massively deserve it, PSG. I think they got just over 1 last night. And then in the 90th minute, Diogo Dalot, of all people, has the most speculative effort from 30 yards,
ballooning
going
over the
into
bar.
Rosette, but Kimpembe throws his body up, hits him on the arm.
Turns his body away as well, crucially.
Yeah, turns his body away, which is an absolute stinker. Rule number 1 of a defender, you never turn your back. Just take it to the face if you've got to, Kimpembe. And it goes to VAR. In my opinion, the wrong decision.
Yeah.
I think
it's no way a penalty, but someone made a very good point on our Football Daily WhatsApp group last night that if Otamendi's can be given versus Schalke, it's exactly the same thing.
Yeah.
But VAR, you know, VAR isn't wrong here. It's the implementation of VAR. It's, you know, the idea is to try to eradicate mistakes, but because humans are running it, it's never going to be totally free. And these slow-mo replays, they don't help the situation on handballs whatsoever.
No. But as soon as he went to the technical area, I thought this was going to be given as a pen.
I was still quite surprised because the ball is ballooning over the bar. It's not anywhere close to being on target. And the pace it's going at, I know his arm's in an awkward position, but he also can't get rid of it.
I agree. I don't think it's a penalty. Do you guys think it's a penalty? Vote up in the poll there and let us know. But either way, Marcus Rashford steps up after 4 minutes of agonising wait.
Everyone getting in his face as well.
I was so nervous and smashes home a brilliant penalty. He said after the game that he didn't know where he was going to put it before he stepped up. He was waiting for Buffon to move. Buffon didn't move, so he just hit it as hard as he could. And the scenes when I can see Greenwood, Tahith Chong, McTominay, Rashford, Pereira, the academy boys in the corner at the Parc de France conducting an orchestra of Manchester United fans. It was almost like the rain was going back up into the clouds.
Yeah, it was epic.
The earth stopped rotating for 30 seconds for me there. I mean, I completely lost my head. My reaction was all over the gaff, and so was a load of Man United players who are on the injury bench because we've got 10 first teamers out. Here's a few of the best reactions. So yeah, probably Manchester United's best night post-Ferguson, I think it's fair to say.
I think that's safe to say, yeah.
The atmosphere was incredible. Romelu Lukaku keeps on scoring despite what everybody, including me, is saying about him. I think in all competitions, only 4 Premier League players have scored more goals than him since the start of last season now.
I believe it's Kane, Salah and Aguero, so elite company as well.
Yeah, really elite company. And whilst he's scoring goals, the records keep tumbling for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, don't they? He's now scored, or the team he's managing have now scored, in 21 consecutive away games in all competitions, equaling the 1957 record under Sir Matt Busby. It was Solskjaer's 14th win in 17 matches.
Remarkable.
In that time, he's beaten Chelsea away, Spurs away, Arsenal away, PSG away.
And all fairly as well. I mean, last night's was slightly lucky, but those results weren't, you know, just flukes.
It's unbelievable. This is a team without 10 first-team players. It's truly United reserves out there last night. And you can't begrudge him it. 10 consecutive away wins. The best in the club's history now. Since his first game in charge on the 22nd of December, only Manchester City have won more games than United in all competitions in Europe's top 5 leagues. And that might well be because they've played one more, maybe?
Yeah, I believe so,
think they've played one more. So, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, I love you. And I am fully aboard the train. My head's gone. And, oh my, I can't even speak, Dukes. You have to start taking over.
Yeah, I think he's 32 out of a possible 36 in the Premier League, which is 2 more than City, something like 6 more than Liverpool in this time there. And it was just an epic night. I'd say it was probably my second favourite Champions League comeback of all time, and I'm nowhere close to being a United fan. I put it behind Istanbul, but ahead of Barcelona PSG, and I'll tell you why. Barcelona had Messi, Suarez and Neymar.
Yes.
3 of the best players in that year. I think they were in the top 5 of the Ballon d'Or in 2015. And United had a starting midfield of Andreas Pereira, McTominay and Fred.
How good was McTominay, though?
And Diego Dalot coming on as well. What a performance from him.
Yeah, thank God, because Eric Bailly, possibly the worst 20 minutes I've ever seen in professional football in the Champions League.
Yeah, it really wasn't pretty. But we've got to talk about PSG because it's an absolute catastrophe for them. And their results are actually weirdly getting worse in the Champions League. So in their first 4 years between 2012 and 2012-13 to 2015-16, they had 4 consecutive quarter-finals, but the last 3 have all ended at the last 16 stage. They obviously had that loss to Barcelona, that famous comeback. They then got outclassed pretty comprehensively by Real Madrid last year, who obviously went on to win the competition. Yeah. And now they lost to a Man United side that had an average age of 23 at the end of the game last night, and 6 players 23 or under. Tahith Chong obviously made his Champions League debut, and 17-year-old Greenwood made his first team debut. They might well be 17 points ahead at the top of Ligue 1, but there are serious questions to ask about their big game mentality. This was actually Tuchel's first defeat at the Parc des Princes and ended in an 8-game streak in all competitions. But I just wasn't that impressed with them. I didn't think they carved out that many opportunities. I thought Mbappe, as you said earlier, was isolated. Yeah. I mean, it was a great ball across for the burnout goal, but that was probably his highlight of an otherwise quite quiet night.
Yeah, totally.
They had 72% possession, 12 shots to United's 5, but only got 4 on target. United got 4 on target as well. And there was a great tweet this morning that showed all United's various shots on targets led to goals in different ways.
Yes.
With one leading to a penalty, one leading to a spill from Buffon, you know, as it goes on. But as Joe said earlier, last night's XG was 1.3 to 1.6 in United's favour. Obviously, that's slightly skewed by the fact United had a penalty. And it was 2 mistakes and an unjust penalty. But PSG have got to step it up at that level, 100%.
Yeah, I agree. Although their home record is incredible. I think they've only lost 3 of their last 51 at the Parc des Princes, which is pretty bloody impressive.
Yeah, but in the knockouts, which I was just about to get onto, it's not so impressive.
Oh, really?
So they've now lost 7 of the last 12 Champions League knockout games, winning 4 and drawing 1, including each of their last 2 at the Parc des Princes.
Jesus.
So who were the key players on the night? Well, we've got to give a shout out to one PSG player, the biggest Hauser on the night, Di Maria. He actually had, I mean, it might have all fallen apart for him in terms of, you know, his relationship with other players and his opponents on the night, but he actually had a good game statistically. 88% pass accuracy, 3 dribbles, 5 key passes, 3 shots, 1 offside goal. Really nice finish over De Gea as well. Yeah, but he's undoubtedly joining Sergio Ramos in our heads of the week.
So good, isn't it? Yeah, during that, because it's just beautiful to see that.
Yeah. Joe hates him. Yeah, Joe hates him big time. But for United, we've got to talk about some of the heroes for them. Smalling, got to give a shout out to him. Unbelievable last month in United shirt. On the night, he was imperious. 4 tackles and interceptions, 2 aerial duels won, 89% pass accuracy, which we're not used to seeing from Smalling. McTominay, unbelievable. Not the best on the ball on the night, didn't have to be, but 6 tackles and interceptions, 5 tackles in the game, which was a game high, 96% pass accuracy.
Incredibly fit
Just kept it incredibly simple. Yeah, great covering the ground, read the game incredibly well, but man of the match, I mean, I know Rashford scored the penalty, but it's got to go to Lukaku.
Sorry,
5 aerial duels won, 3 dribbles, 2 shots, 2 goals. But
and 1 celebration in the face of Di Maria, which makes it even sweeter.
That's the bonus. That's the cherry on top.
Sprinkle it on there.
Yeah, exactly. But spare a thought for Gigi Buffon, 41 years old, moved to PSG to win the Champions League. A horrendous error on the night. Looks like he'll never win one. Neymar did not hold back. Obviously missed the game with injury. He said he claimed the penalty didn't exist and labelled it a disgrace. I mean, it looks now difficult to see him staying at the Parc des Princes beyond this summer. Okay. I'd be surprised if he stuck around. You know, PSG in the Champions League haven't delivered since he's been there. I think he's been great when he's played, but he's picking up these niggling injuries, and it just hasn't worked out how we would have expected for a £222 million, pound deal.
Yeah, I do agree. I think they may struggle for suitors though. I don't know where he could go.
I can only see Real Madrid.
I think potentially Real Madrid, but I wonder whether or not they'll go for other options that are going to cost a lot less than Neymar, because Neymar's going to. PSG are going to want their money back and some.
Yeah, I think it'll be about 240.
So if you're looking to pay 250 million, if I'm Real Madrid, I'm thinking, man, I can get younger options that have really good ceilings for about half the price. Maybe not as good as Neymar, but I could get a couple for the same price.
No, you're right. If they could swap Hazard for Bale and Chelsea pay them 50, 60 million, I think that'd be a great deal for Real Madrid.
Yeah, so do I. Or maybe they'd go out and go, here's 50 million for Memphis Depay, and then we'll pay 120 for Eden Hazard. They've got 2 brilliant wingers for 70 million less than they're going to pay for Neymar.
Yeah, either way. Yeah, I mean, they'll definitely need a striker as well. There's so much rebuilding to do at Real Madrid, so it's not going to be simple at all. But Neymar, not a happy bunny at all. But the Ollie train goes on. They've got Arsenal on Sunday. If they win that, they'll go 4 points clear of them in 4th. Bear in mind that they were closer to the relegation zone than the top 4 when he took over. This train is steamrolling.
Give him the contract! Give him the contract!
Should Ole Gunnar Solskjaer get the permanent job, or should it be Pochettino? Let's vote in the poll again.
The other game last night was also a bit of a blinder. Porto 3-1 Roma, 4-3 after extra time, Dukes.
Yeah, it was an absolute doozy. But we've got to give some credit to Porto, because they advanced from a 2-legged tie in the Champions League after losing the first leg for the first time since 1986. Wow. And it's the first time they've actually reached the quarterfinals since 2014-15. And what a shock it was. The Portuguese came from 2-1 down in the first leg, where Nicolo Zaniolo became the youngest Italian to score twice in a Champions League game. But a battling display saw Francisco Suarez open the scoring with Porto's 250th goal in the Champions League in just the 26th minute. De Rossi got one back from a penalty, stuttering run-up, which I didn't think you were allowed to do anymore. But he also picked up an injury just after, which forced him off. And Roma really missed his presence in that second half.
Nzonzi just nowhere near the level, man.
Oh my goodness. Nzonzi has had a horrible time since leaving Sevilla in the summer. Porto then managed to pull a goal back via Marega, who became the second African player to score in 6 consecutive Champions League appearances after, was it Samuel Eto'o? No. Was it Emmanuel Adebayor?
Didier
No.
Drogba?
Didier Drogba? No. Marouane Chamakh. Who saw that one coming?
That's ridiculous. That was back in 2010.
Absolutely mental. I had no idea he had that sort of record.
No, I know.
But Joe, there was some late drama as well.
There was some late drama because obviously this one went to extra time with the score poised at 2-1 in both legs. Both teams getting an away goal, obviously. And really, when it went to extra time, Porto just went up a gear, went into overdrive. I think they had 9 shots in extra time. 31 shots on the night for Porto in a Champions League game with 9 on target. So well worth their victory, really.
Well done.
Even in the first leg, Porto at times showed glimpses that they were the better team in Rome. So I wasn't overly surprised they came back and won this one. I mean, Roma as well are the capitulation merchants. They've lost all of their past 8 Champions League knockout away games. They've also conceded in each of their past 31 away games in the Champions League.
That's believed.
Haven't kept a clean sheet in 31 games away from home. That's the longest streak in the competition's history. They did hold out until the 116th minute when Florenzi, it's a penalty, isn't it? It's just stupid decision-making. Pulls his man back. It goes to VAR as well. This one also went to VAR. The ref didn't give it in real time, went to VAR. In my opinion, VAR got this one right and the Man United one wrong. But this was a great case for VAR.
But knowing VAR is in place, just don't do that. It's such a clear tug. I don't know what he's thinking.
Yeah, I know, completely agree. Tellez then stepped up, scored in the 116th minute. That's the latest goal to be scored in the Champions League in 5 years.
Really?
A record that goes back to 2014 when Cristiano Ronaldo scored in extra time against Atletico Madrid in the final.
Amazing.
So Porto, well worth the result, really. They go through, but they'll be one of the teams, I think, that a lot of clubs will be hoping to draw. I think as a quarter-finalist, clubs like Man United will be hoping Porto comes out. I think...
So who have we got? We've got Ajax, Spurs,
Man United so far.
And it looks like Barcelona should go through against Lyon. Imagine if Lyon...
And Atletico probably.
And Atletico will probably go through. And then Bayern, Liverpool will be pretty even, I would expect. I can't remember what the last tie is. I know I'm forgetting one.
Yeah.
But who would you, as a Man United fan, who do you want? You want Porto straight up?
I mean, Porto I would take. I'd also...
Would you rather have Ajax or Spurs?
Spurs.
Spurs.
Yeah, I think so. Ajax look unbelievable. I kind of said before the first leg against Real Madrid, this is going to be a classic Real Madrid. You know, we all love Ajax. They're looking like the better team on paper, but Real Madrid will turn them over 1-0. And it ended up being 2-1, and we all thought, oh, fucking typical Madrid. But then Ajax, second leg, one of the best Champions League displays I've seen in recent years. It was awesome.
It's been a class week of Champions League football.
I don't really want to... Mate, the Champions League, the level of competition is incredible. Every single game is... doozy in the Champions League.
I think it's the better team standard have dropped, surprisingly, but Real Madrid and Barcelona don't look as good as they have previously. Liverpool and Man City have, been shaky in the Champions League so far. This could potentially be a shock year. I wouldn't be surprised, depending on who United get in the quarterfinals, if this Ollie train keeps on going and you're in a semi-final, and then you never know from there.
Imagine, yeah. So I think, for me as a Man United fan, Porto my number 1, and then probably... yeah, Tottenham second. I would like Tottenham.
And just a quick word on Roma, because Eusebio Di Francesco's men obviously made a semi-final last year. They finished 3rd in the league, and this year haven't really got going. They lost 3-0 to Lazio at the weekend, then this loss to Porto away from home, out of the Champions League. His job's under real pressure. But Roma fans, would you like to see Di Francesco removed, and who would you like to replace him? Let us know in the comments down below. So what a night of Champions League football, but the show on EFD and FD marches on. Joe, what would you like to push to?
Yeah, why not come over to Football Daily? We've got a massive launch of a new product today. It's called Behind the Headlines. It's the in-depth story behind footballers' lives.
Yes.
This one features Leon Mackenzie telling some really, really honest and emotional stuff. It's a great watch, so go over and give that a like and a subscribe as well.
Definitely. Thank you very much for watching, guys. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.